Alright guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So in this one, I wanted to really ask the simple question: can Zach Wilson bounce back this upcoming week against the Denver Broncos in Mile High Stadium? And when I say bounce back, I'm not saying, oh, 5 touchdown passes. I'm not expecting, a 76 completion percentage, anything like that. But really, can Zach Wilson put out a performance that he feels good about, that the coaching staff feels good about, that the fans feel good about, something that he can build off of? Is he taking care of the football? Is he making good decisions? Is the offense able to move the chains effectively, or does it look like a complete disaster out there so far through Zach's young career? And granted, it's only been 2 games, but we've witnessed some ups and downs. I mean, at times, Zach Wilson has looked tremendous. The way he throws the football with absolute ease, the quick release, the mobility, the playmaking ability, the arm strength, accuracy down the field. Zach Wilson has all the tools to be successful, and we've seen glimpses of that. But then on the other side of the coin, we've seen some negative plays with the interceptions, with not seeing certain guys in coverage, with overthrowing guys, maybe being too aggressive down the field, passing on some stuff underneath. In other words, hero ball. So I feel like when we take a look at everything, or Zach Wilson's first 2 games, and look at it from a macro perspective, it's been pretty much as expected. I mean, he hasn't been perfect. I wasn't really expecting Wilson to be, Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, or anything like that. But at the same time, I wasn't expecting him to be the worst quarterback in football. So I feel like we've seen a fair share of good and bad, especially when we factor in Zach's current situation. He's playing on a really, really young football team, a team coming off of a 2-win season, literally the second worst team in the league last year. First-time head coach, first-time offensive coordinator Mike LaFleur, who's not only tasked with developing Zach Wilson, but he also has to install his offense. He also has to call plays. There's a lot on LaFleur's plate. There's roster holes all over the place. The offensive line has been inconsistent at best. Wilson doesn't have that veteran quarterback to lean on for advice like a Fitzpatrick, a McCown, a Tyrod Taylor. Not in the least. It's Mike White behind him. So given those circumstances, looking at the teams that we've played so far, a tough Panthers defense, a great Patriots defense, personally, I'm not too surprised with how things have turned out, whether you want to talk about the eye test or statistically, for Zach Wilson. So now it's week 3 and we're looking Denver, we're looking Vic Fangio right in the face here. I mean, this defense in Mile High Stadium is filled with veterans, and it's a talented bunch for sure. But I don't think it's impossible for Zach Wilson to go out there and have a good game. I mean, we take a look back at week 1, just literally 2 weeks ago here, how Daniel Jones, a quarterback that's not considered a top 5, top 10, I would say Daniel Jones is kind of vaulted in the bottom half, the bottom section of the league as far as starting quarterbacks are concerned. We look at how Jones did against this defense with no running game. Denver completely shut down the run game. Saquon Barkley was non-existent. I mean, Jones was 22 of 37, which equates to a 59.4 completion percentage, 267 passing yards. He had a touchdown pass, no interceptions. These wide receivers were getting open. These wide receivers were making plays against this defense. I mean, Shepard had 113. Kenny Golladay had over 60 yards. Darius Slayton had over 60 yards. I think he had 65 to be exact. I mean, with no running game, the wide receivers were making an impact. Luckily for the New York Jets, we have depth at this position. Corey Davis, Keelan Cole, Elijah Moore. We'll see what happens with Jamison Crowder if he plays. And yes, I'm going to include Denzel Mims on this list as well. I'm a big Mims guy. I think he should be out there making plays. I mean, the guy, he productive at Baylor, productive rookie season, productive in the preseason. In his one opportunity to make a play this year, he did. He came down with a 40-yard reception. So from a personal standpoint, I do feel like the Jets have the talent to make plays in the pass game. And then we look at how Trevor Lawrence did against this Broncos defense. It was sketchy, like we have to be honest. 14 of 33, a touchdown pass, 2 picks, 118 yards. But honestly, I mean, after rewatching that game, there was a lot of dropped passes. There were a lot of missed opportunities. And by the way, the Jags and the Jets are kind of in the same boat. I actually did a video on this not too long ago, a couple days ago. They have a lot of similarities, but I feel like in that game, the Jags, they just continuously shot themselves in the foot. Dropped pass after dropped pass, bad play call after bad play call. I felt like the Jags just really couldn't get out of their own way. And obviously the Jags' young secondary was tested as well. But all in all, yes, I think this Denver Broncos team is underrated. I think this is a really good Denver Broncos defense. It's a veteran defense. And they've proven this year that they can confuse rookie quarterbacks. But I don't feel like it's out of the realm of possibilities. I don't feel like it's impossible for Zach Wilson to go out there and execute and put up a pretty well-rounded, a pretty effective performance. Now, I feel like the big thing, the number one thing that needs to happen on Sunday for Zach to have success is the Jets to come out of the gates fast. We can't stumble over ourselves. We can't trip in the first drive of the game. I mean, that's something that's plagued the offense, plagued Zach Wilson last 2 weeks against Carolina and New England. In Carolina, we actually made those halftime adjustments, but it was just too little too late at that point. And then New England just ran circles around us. But in back-to-back games, we couldn't move the ball. We couldn't move the ball. I mean, in Carolina, it was just 3 and out, stagnant, incomplete, no rhythm at all. There's just not. It was just a mess. And then New England, it was just the back-to-back turnovers. It was just, we were just getting wrecked in the pass game. They credit New England, they did their thing, but we cannot look like how we did in the first 2 games. We have to come out and look, even if we have to script plays, even if we have to, come out and go and hurry up, go up tempo early to get Wilson comfortable, I'm all for it. Let's do it. I feel like getting Wilson in rhythm early on in this game. I'm talking about the first drive, whether we receive or defer, the first time Zach Wilson touches the football, we have to make sure he's feeling comfortable. How do we do that? Let's get creative. Let's get guys going in motion. Let's get the playmakers the football early within the play. I'm talking about guys like Michael Carter out of the backfield, Elijah Moore, Corey Davis with the football in his hands. These guys can all really help out the young quarterback. Let's get him the ball. Let's get him involved early. Not only are we just getting the ball out of Zach Wilson's hands, boosting his confidence and really forming that rhythm, but we're also limiting the pass rush. We're limiting the thinking. We're letting our athletes be athletes, our playmakers be playmakers, and we're also limiting tough decisions for Zach down the field. I mean, if Zach Wilson is getting the football out of his hands within 1.5 to 2 seconds of the snap, is he really going to be throwing in a triple coverage? Is he really going to be throwing the ball 40 yards downfield in double coverage? I doubt it. Is he going to be getting sacked within 1-2 yards? Or 1-2 seconds rather? Probably not, unless somebody misses an assignment or just gets completely burned on the offensive line. And granted, I mean, this team does have Von Miller and they have a ton of tons of talented players, but I really feel like the name of the game needs to be getting Wilson comfortable. Let's not see Zach Wilson constantly getting up off the ground after numerous sacks. Let's get the ball out of his hands quickly. So, bottom line, I feel like it's possible. The potential is there for Zach Wilson to have a pretty effective game. And again, I'm not saying, I demand 7 touchdown passes, but can Wilson take care of the football? Can he put out a performance that everybody, including himself, feels great about moving forward into next week against the Atlanta Falcons? So I'll leave it there. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Is it possible? Do you think Zach Wilson can have a pretty solid game? And again, not some elite Hall of Fame style of game, but can he go out there and look like a starting quarterback in the league? I feel like it could definitely happen. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, go Jets.